offer here from LexRex Communications. So this video should reach you sometime after the Legal 500 launch in September, and hopefully before the Chambers launch, which falls this year on the 22nd of October. And incidentally, there you go, that's some helpful content already, so do get that date into your diary. So this is a little video with my really brief top tips or considerations you should have in mind for the Chambers launch when that comes around. I think these tips are handy whether you're part of a really big team in one of our larger firms, whether you're a marketing manager with perhaps an exec to support you, or perhaps especially if you're a lawyer doing your own marketing or perhaps getting a bit of external support. They're intended as a starter for 10. Also, and I'm sorry but I have to do this, remember if you want in-depth advice and practical examples, templates and guides, you will need to invest in our Chambers toolkit. I'll share some information about the toolkit on the screen at the end of this video. Okay, so on to my top tips for preparing for a Directories launch. Number 1, media relations. Okay, so first things first. The Times and The Guardian are not going to cover your Directories listings, regardless of how excited you are about them. Unfortunately, you won't even get them into the Daily Mail. And here's more bad news. If your firm is located in one of the larger cosmopolitan districts, so London, Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds and Glasgow, for example, the regional business press, such as the Insider, the Business Desk, the Yorkshire Post, the Manchester Evening News, they're also not going to cover your Directories listings, I'm afraid. However, if you're a firm in a smaller location with fewer law firms, then those business pages may well be interested. So it's worthwhile, checking them out. Number 2, social media. So obviously if you get coverage, as per point 1, then you need to share it on social media. If not, you can still create really effective posts for your social media channels. Now obviously I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do that now, because I have a product to sell, so sorry. But seriously though, if you do need some help on that front, then again the Chambers toolkit does include that, or just get in touch. Number 3, internal comms. So what I want to say about internal comms is that so often we see a lot of external celebration around Directories listings, but a good set of listings is also a super opportunity to celebrate your team. If you don't know already, then let me tell you that Directories are exhausting and they take days and days to complete. We tend to estimate 2 days of our time to create a submission and around about the same for our clients. So that's 4 days for one submission, which is an extremely long time. So if you do get the listings, you should celebrate them. There are loads and loads of different ways that you can celebrate, and what's appropriate for your firm will probably depend upon the culture of your firm and also on your rules around operational expenses. But on a serious note, it really is a good opportunity to kind of bring your team together and celebrate those nice successes, and particularly this year when there really isn't that much good news or that many reasons otherwise to celebrate. That takes me nicely onto tip 4, which is what to do if you've dropped down in the rankings or you haven't been listed where you were expecting. Now, I completely understand it is literally the worst feeling when you've put so much time and effort in and it hasn't been sort of recognised externally. What would I suggest? You need to take a good hard look at your submissions and your referee spreadsheet, and you need to work out, if you can, what went wrong, and again how you can then improve for the coming year. I really would suggest that you rip the plaster off and do this as soon as possible, and then remember to use the results of that exercise to inform this year's submissions. Tip 5 isn't really so much a tip as an instruction, so go and buy our Chambers toolkit. But no, seriously, you should buy it. On a serious note, I'm completely super delighted to have rolled out the toolkit to a range of different types of firms. Sole practitioners are using it for their first submissions, the much bigger firms are doing the same. Interestingly, we're also having a lot of interest from top 250 firms who want their partners, biz dev and marketing teams to be able to access the content. We are pricing it according to the number of licenses that you require, and that's because we want to make it affordable to everybody. So no more selling, I promise, but do drop me a line on victoria.moffat@lexrexcommunications.com, and if you want to, we can very easily have a chat about how I could help you. Anyway, that's it from me. Until our next Directories Bulletin, you should receive that in a couple of weeks' time. I hope you've enjoyed this little video and it's given you things to think about, and I'll see you then. Bye for now. Thanks again.